Yu-Gi-Oh! An incredibly complex card game with tens of thousands of cards. However, what if each set was separated from the rest of the massive card pool and your choices when building a deck were extremely limited? In this series, in order to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! From the ground up, I will be embarking on an adventure through the history of the card game with Jeexx. In each episode, we will have access to all the cards in a select product, and using only the cards in that product, both of us will build a deck before playing a best of 3 match to determine the winner of the episode. We will move in a chronological order in the series, and with each new episode we will forget the cards of the past in order to experience something brand new. We hope you enjoyed this adventure through Yu-Gi-Oh! And its evolution with us. Welcome to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. What is up, ladies and fellas, and welcome back to Historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning Journey, and welcome to Absolute Powerforce. Welcome to 2010 as well. I think this is the first set in 2010 that we are covering. I can't remember when Dual Terminal and Hidden Arsenal were. But yep, for today we have Absolute Powerforce as well as TuP2 Boosters 2. So let's take a look at what we have here. So Gravekeepers get a lot of support here. One of the biggest things in this set, Drill Synchron also introduced here. I think it was in Hidden Arsenal and or Dual Terminal as well, but in a main set, I guess, main core set, it's here for the first time. Battle Fader, actually a card that sees a lot of play for quite a while after its introduction. So it's basically just when your opponent tries to direct attack you, you can stop the battle phase, negate the attack, and then end them. And then Battle Fighter gets banished when it leaves the field, but basically just protects you from damage, gives you a free body on the field, which is nice. Power Invader is a weird Sidra-esque card. If your opponent, conjures 2 or more monsters, you can normal summon this without tributing. It doesn't have a restriction on what you need to have on your side of the field though. Reptilians are here, and then a mini, not an archetypal line of cards, Oracle of the Sun, which works literally just like Sidra, but when destroyed on the field and sent to a graveyard, you can add one of its specific tuners, Ascator and Supay, to your hand. These are essentially vanillas. The effects don't really matter, but they are important for a couple synchros that we'll talk about in a little bit. And X-Saber's the other, I feel like, oh yeah, Cookie Bear also gets stuff here. X-Sabers and Gravekeepers, I feel like, are the two big archetypes here. Like, X-Saber gets actually like good cards here. So X-Saber Garsam is a level 4, which they desperately needed more level 4, so that's nice. But the effects, unfortunately, when it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can add an X-Saber monster from your deck to your hand. But it gets boosted for each phase up X-Saber monster you control, so it's still a level 4 body for X-Sabers, but unfortunately the effect isn't very good. Visionary is just a big beat stick for Gravekeepers. Descendant, actually a very good card, where you contribute one of the Gravekeepers monster to target a card your opponent controls and destroy the target. No once per the restriction, but obviously having to tribute Gravekeepers monster is quite steep. Cyber Dragons get some stuff here as well. Cyber Dragon Swipe. Some more stuff for the Ritual Djinns, and then for the Synchros, sorry, it's late, I'm a little bit tired. Magic Red Dragon, which once again a bad version of an existing good level 8, but gives us access to Red Dragon Archer with Dimension, obviously. Drill Warrior, actually a very good synchro, level 6, needs Drill Synchro and one of more known tuners. And once below your main phase, you can half discard attack, and if you do, you can attack your opponent directly this turn, so you get 1200. And then once per turn, you can discard a card, and if you do, banish this card, and during your next standby phase, you spell summon this card, benefit this effect, and then you add one monster from your graveyard to your hand. So essentially, if you're discarding a monster for its effect, it's kind of free, but it's an incredibly annoying card because it has this self-protection where you need to deal with it during your opponent's turn, and then it just keeps on coming back, keeps on attacking for direct. It's actually a very, very good card. Sun Dragon Inti, Moon Dragon Quill are these specific cards when I talked about Supay and Fire and Ascator. Not very good, but a cool line. And X-Saber Hyunlei, actually very good addition to X-Saber. So I think their first level 6 synchro, and needs the tuner doesn't matter, but needs a non-tuner X-Saber monster. And when it's synchronous, you can select and destroy up to 3 spells or traps on the field, which is a lot. So he only basically just wipes your opponent back row. Because of console, we don't really have stuff to do with this, but obviously good for blue eyes, but we unfortunately don't. I don't think we can really use it. Steel is interesting for Gravekeepers, and probably the best card in this set actually, Fiendish Chain. So a continuous trap where you target an effect monster on the field, negate the effects of the monster, and the monster cannot attack. So essentially you make a monster useless, and I mean it can be used as tribute fodder or synchro material, but basically you just make a monster a dud, which obviously very powerful effect. Saber Hole, another incredibly good card for X-Sabers, just negates a monster summon. Tuner Scheme is interesting, where essentially when your opponent synchro summons a monster, you can take control of it, and then it gets banished when it's destroyed. But if Tuner Scheme gets popped, obviously it returns to your opponent. More good stuff for X-Saber. So Emmer's Blade actually relevant, since when it's destroyed by battle, you can special summon a X-Saber monster from your deck. Very good effect. Super Nimble Mega Hamster. On flip, you can special summon a level 3 or lower beast monster from your deck in face down defense position. And this is also like something that you could use with X-Sabers, since Airbellum is a level... Airbellum? Parabellum? Whatever the Wolverine Lion is, it's a beast. But obviously face down monsters can't be used to synchro summon, so that's much more gimmicky. Shield Wing, very hard to get rid of monster by, if you want to get rid of it by battle, and if you don't, then you're using a monster effect on a level 2 900 defender, so just a very annoying card to deal with. And sorry, it's already been 6 minutes. We'll just really quickly. Obviously, Super Pack, no new cards here, so I'll just talk about what we have. So we have Gladiator Piece, Heraclinus, Chaos Sword, a lot of Gravekeeper stuff here. Foolish Burial, Magical Dimension, Beckoning Light, more Gravekeeper stuff. My Body as a Shield for some protection. Magical Sun Excavation, not relevant. Light and Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors, and Anti-Spell Fragrance make the return as well. Darker Valley, Autonomous Action Unit, more Gravekeeper stuff. Freecliff Bounder, Mausoleum of the Emperor, Gravekeeper's Commandant, and Iron Core of Koiki Mary. So just a lot of stuff for many different archetypes. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we can come up with these cards. So hopefully you enjoyed the set breakdown, and I will see y'all in the deck building section next.
Okay, so Absolute Powerforce is a kind of a shit set. I'm gonna be for like real. Like, I think this set has no inherent power of its own, and most of the power that it has comes from legacy support. Like X-Sabers having shit in this means that you can play legacy X-Saber stuff. There's Quakimeru, which hasn't had a functioning deck up until maybe now or maybe the next set. And then there's also Synchrons, but I don't think those count. There's something else as well, but I kind of forgot what that was. Maybe that'll come up at some point. But yeah, I think overall there's many defensive cards in this set, and also some good cards like we got Dandelion from a special edition. We have Shieldwing, which is basically a Dark Resonator on steroids. You can take 2 hits. And there's stuff like Fiendish Chain, which is a really good card for a long time. Inverse Unverse, which is a significantly better Shield and Sword, or Sword and Shield. I don't remember which one that was anymore. But that card that was in one of my decks way back in like the beginning of last year, where I had the win con of playing 5 defense position monsters with 2000 attack, and then using a Dark Hole into a shield and Sword to win the game. But yeah, let's get started. I think there's a lot of good defensive cards, like I said, like Battle Fighter. Battle Fighter is honestly probably gonna be something, if we keep adding on to legacy rules somehow, if we end up in a situation where hand traps become a thing that we can just add like 9 of to a deck, Battle Fighter will probably be something that we'll see for a long time. So Battle Fighter has the effect of when an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this card from your hand and then end the battle phase. It's basically a negate attack, but you get a monster for it. If summoned this way, banish it when it leaves the field. And that's really good. Like, legitimately, this is a really good way of stopping your opponent from like getting too aggressive. There's another card that kind of falls in the same category called Gores, which I've been making like comments about since we started the series, where I'm doing the wrong attack order, I'm gonna get Gores. There's also another card which I think we're gonna see fairly soon, like Dragoidia. Dragoidia is this thing is a fucking beast. It has the same effect as a Gores, where it can summon itself when you take damage. But yeah, a Battle Fader is a really good card for slowing down games, and also a really good card for technically getting like a field presence for synchro plays. Then we have Cyber Dragon. I have Cyber Dragon here mostly because of the fact that Cyber Dragon is a free level 5, a 2.1 thousand, 2.1 thousand beat stick. And as you can probably figure out, like there's a lot of small monsters in this. There's Quick Draw Synchron, there's MS Blade, there's like a whole host of tiny little tuner monsters that want to go into a bigger monster. And I think early aggression can deal with that fairly well. We have Dandelion. Dandelion is a honestly insane card. We're not gonna probably be seeing much use for it, but has the effect of if this card is sent to the graveyard, special summon 2 fluff tokens in defense position. These tokens cannot be attributed for a tribute summon during the turn they are special summoned. So basically, you send this card to the graveyard with any means necessary, and you get 2 bodies for it. 2 bodies that are level 1 and can be used for synchro plays immediately, or link plays immediately, or literally anything else you can imagine other than tribute summoning. So it's pretty good. Then we have Drill Synchron, which is here specifically for me to play Quick Draw Synchron. It doesn't really do anything. It has the effect of a monster, warrior monster attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. Once per turn, when you inflict piercing damage, balance your opponent with this effect, you can draw 1 card. So yeah, it's fairly good. It's not a horrible card, but there's not really many like opportunities to use it. Quick Draw, we talked about this card. Discard 1 card, special summon. It works as a substitute for all Synchron monsters. Shieldwing, Dark Resonator, but can take 2 hits instead, and it's not a tuner, it's level 2. It's also a Winged Beast. Kind of wish it was a dragon, I'll be honest. But yeah, Weeping Idol is a level 2 card that special summons itself using the effect of you can banish 1 tuner from your graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. It's pretty good. I think if this was banish 1 tuner from grave and then special summon this card from your hand or graveyard, this could be really good. Like this could legitimately work to extend shit so far. I think that would be cool, but I don't think the 2010s era was ready for that. There's a dozen cards that probably do that now though. Presume a Spirit Reaper tuner basically, but there's a detrimental effect of you take 1,000 damage when it's on your side of the field. On your side of the field during your opponent's standby phase, you take 1,000 damage. That's it. This card isn't like the greatest, but at least stalls the game out. Emmer's Blade, when this card is destroyed by balance in the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower X-Saber monster from your deck. So this is Giant Rat. We've seen these a bunch of times, but now it's levels and not attack, which makes it arguably worse because you can have higher attack. You can have higher level monsters that have less attack than lower level monsters. But in this case, we can use this to summon basically everything that's worthwhile, because most of the cards that you would want to summon this are not like level 6 or level 5. And even then, these cards have a lot of attack, so you wouldn't even be able to hit them with Giant Rat. Then we have Fall Troll. Fall Troll is I guess Great Shogun Shien-esque card where you need to, I actually think I was talking about this card already, never mind. But yeah, you special summon it by having 2 X-Saber monsters in the field, and then you can special summon 1 X-Saber from the graveyard using this card's effect. Volhelm Knight, again, a level 3 tuner, 1.3 thousand body, the effect to negate an attack, and the effect to special summon a monster when destroys a defense position monster. Guard Strike, it special summons itself if you have 2 or more X-Saber monsters in your graveyard and control no monster. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. That's nasty. I forgot you didn't need to. You had to control no monsters. Never mind. Garson, when this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard by a card effect. Add 1 X-Saber monster from your deck to your hand. This card gains 200 attack for each X-Saber monster you control. This card, I don't think it's gonna be very good because the only cards that we really have that could pop it are like Saber Slash. My apologies. I yawned. Then we have Ragigura. Again, recursion. I talked about this a couple of times, I think. Saber Slash, again, a really good tool to deal with like board. Fiendish Chain, this card is probably alongside like Battle Fader, like I was talking about. If we're gonna have a moment when we start giving each other like the option to add specific good counter cards, Fiendish Chain could probably be amongst them. Activate this card by targeting one effect monster in the field and negate the effects of that face-up monster while it is on the field. Also, that face-up monster cannot attack. When it is destroyed, destroy this card. Okay, that's pretty good. This effect is fairly good. I would even say that for the period of time that this card was released in, it was extremely good. Like when you consider all the cards that came out around this time, that would probably just die to the fact that they can't attack and their effects are negated. That's GG. Later on, we get another card that does a similar thing, but it's not permanent, and that card is also fairly good. Effect Mailer specifically. And I think Fiendish Chain is maybe better than Effect Veiler for a long time, purely because the fact that Fiendish Chain is a lasting effect, whereas Effect Veiler just like does it once, and then you need to win on the next turn, basically. But yeah, then we have Gothams. We've talked about Gothams a billion times. Gothams is super interesting, like card in a mirror matchup. So if this ends up being a mirror matchup again, it's gonna be fun. Inverse, unverse, shield and sword and shield, but it's permanent and only for effect monsters. Machine King 3000 BC. It's the effect itself is irrelevant. It's basically just a level 4 that I can special summon. That's it. Then we have Tuner Scheme, which kind of de-incentivizes you from playing Synchros in this set, which is kind of why I'm scared about playing Synchros to begin with, because Tuner Scheme has the effect of activate only when a Synchro monster is special summoned to your opponent's side of the field. Take control of that Synchro monster, remove it from play when it is destroyed, and destroy this card when that monster is removed from the field. This card is a little scary, I'll be honest. Like, there's a lot of good Synchro monsters that can get yoinked. Like, even arguably Drill Warrior. Oh, actually, Drill Warrior, I think, returns to your side of the... No, it doesn't. Never mind. There's Red Dragon Archfiend. There is... I mean, Turbo Warrior is actually kind of scary, too. Gothams, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of good cards in here that you could easily yoink. Then the side deck is just multiples of everything. Then we have cards from the Turbo Pack. Autonomous Action Unit, which is basically just a Premature Burial, but only for your opponent's graveyard. It could be good. Foolish Burial, because I need 3 of them to mill anything that's... Where's that? To mill anything that I want to have in the graveyard, like Dandelion. My Body is a Shield, which is a card to prevent destruction. That's about it. Then in this set, we had... I'm pretty sure it was in this set. I'm going to double check. Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. So I think I have this in here because it is in this set, in fact. Or I might be flipping. Wait. Oh wait, no, never mind. I'm stupid. Because so to explain, I am invoking the legacy rule for this because I have Cyber Dragon from the set. Wait, do I? I don't remember anymore. I don't know why this is in here. I think I was theory crafting something, and I just kind of left it in here. And like, oh, this could be really good if we start getting Cyber Dragon support in the sets themselves, and then I can start using. Oh my god, that'll be so cool. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure why this is in here. But let me double check. Oh yeah. I think one of the Cyber Dragon support cards is in this set. Not Core, not Dre. I can't see shit for some reason. What if I release date? Proto Cyber Dragon. I think Zwei is in this set. Yeah, Zwei should be in this set. And because of Zwei, we have access to Cyber Dragon because mentions Cyber Dragon, and then we also have access to the Cyber Dragon archetype because of Zwei being in the set. I'm also using a card that is technically in the set. You know, I don't think I need to actually make that clear, but yeah. Basically, in the future, whenever we have the option to play Cyber Dragons, I think it is a feasible option to have a one-off Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, because Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon having the effect of must be first, cannot be fusion, cannot be used as a fusion material, must first be special summoned from your extra deck by sending the above cards from either field to the graveyard. The original attack of this card becomes 1,000 times the number of materials used for this special summon. So, basically, let's say I have a Cyber Dragon, and my opponent happens to be playing Morphtronics. Thanks. Here, I'm gonna summon this 6,000 beat stick now. Shake. And that's hopefully how it's gonna go every time. But yeah, let me have Drill Warrior, which is one of the cards that I've really been waiting for, but I don't think I'm going to get to use it really. Once per turn, during your main phase 1, you can have this card's attack, and if you do, it can attack your opponent directly this turn. Once per turn, you can discard 1 card, and if you do, banish this card. During your next standby phase, special summon this card banished by this effect, then add 1 monster from your hand to your deck. From your graveyard to your hand. Sorry. From your hand to your deck. I'm a fucking idiot. But yeah, from your graveyard to your hand, which allows you to recover a lot of really important combo pieces. It's anything, right? It's literally any monster. Yeah, you can in this. It's not gonna be that relevant. You can maybe get quick draw and discard a dandelion or some other stuff. But in actually functioning decks like Plant Synchro, it's a really menacing effect because you can use it to honestly. If you don't get into Quasar on turn 1, you can use this to guarantee Quasar on turn 2, basically. By setting your hand up properly. The Nitro Warrior. Nitro Warrior is here is because I have the option to go into Nitro Warrior. The effect is irrelevant, and it gains attack when your opponent activates spells during your combat. If you activate, sorry. Once during each of your turns, it gains attack when you activate spells, and if it attacks a monster destroys by battle, you can target 1 defense position monster and change it to attack, and then it makes a second attack in a row. Red Dragon Archfiend, 3000 beat stick. We've talked about this card a billion times. Level 8, generic, good. Turbo Warrior, when this declares an attack on a level 6 or higher synchro monster, half the attack over the attack target, and cannot be targeted by the effects of level 6 or lower monsters. Rebellum, when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent while they have 4 or more cards in their hand, place 1 card from their hand on the top of their deck at random. Wayne, level 5, special summons a synchro monster, special summons on synchro summon from your hand. Golems, we've talked about Golems a dozen times too. Just tribute X-Saber monsters to discard cards, hand rip cards. And then we have the new one, which is Hinley. Hinley has the effect of when this card is synchro summoned, you can select and destroy up to 3 spells or traps on the field. And that's it. This set is, like I said, it's not very strong, but there's a lot of cool cards in it, I think. And I think a lot of these cards will inevitably show up again when we get to a set that has a generally higher power level. And also when X-Sabers get more support, because at some point X-Sabers are going to be fairly good again. But yeah, I think that about does it. Good luck with the games.
And guys and gals, welcome back. And here's the deck that we're going to be playing today. And apologies if I... a little bit off of my thoughts here. I almost exclusively make these in a way where I make the set breakdown and immediately after go to my deck breakdown. But by the time of recording this, the Yu-Gi-Oh database, that card database, is actually down, so I can't do the set breakdown. So I figured I'd still do the deck breakdown regardless. So hopefully my brain will still work at least close to normal. So. As well, Powerforce, as well as TuP2, this is what we're going to be playing, and we have a clean 2020 split. So, as always, let's go card by card. So, starting us off, we have 2 Battle Faders. Battle Fader is nice because it just, when a opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can dispose summon this from your hand and end the battle phase, and then it gets banished. When it leaves the field, it's summoned that way. It's just an extra body on the field. It protects your life total. It's overall just a very nice hand trap to have. Then what we are playing today is Gravekeepers. I didn't mention that earlier, but the other thing that I was considering building for was X-Saber. But I figured since I've already played X-Sabers a couple times and will probably play them in the future as well, and I saw an opportunity that, hey, you know what, Gravekeepers could actually be pretty nice because the other deck, like I said, probably being the relevant deck being X-Saber, got some nice new cards, including Hyunlei, which pops from Necro Valley, and I also have a lot of back row that I would very much like to keep. But there's this little card that's consistently very good for a long time that will help us deal with Hyunlei that we'll cover in a little bit. But let's go through the Gravekeepers that we got in this set first. So Gravekeepers Priestess, level 3000 attack, 1500 defense. Well, there's no face-up field spell. The field is treated as Necro Valley, and all Gravekeepers monsters on the field get 200 attack and defense. This doesn't mean that you get the effects of Necro Valley. This basically just means that we have some cards that need Necro Valley to be on the field, like Assailant, and though you can apply those as normal, but it doesn't give you the 500 boost. It doesn't prevent players from moving cards from graveyards, anything like that. And then it just gives a little bit of an attack and defense bump. This is mostly just here because, well, we need to meet our quota, and I think like she can come in clutch sometimes, but very rarely, and it'll be interesting if I end up even keeping her in for games 2 and 3. Then we have a Gravekeeper Spear Soldier, another one in the side deck as well. This is just a 1500 beast stick, becomes a 2000 beast stick under Necro Valley that deals piercing damage. And the reason why we have this is just another Gravekeeper name that to fill the quota, as well as to have a way to deal with a lot of like setting. Because looking at Absolute Powerforce, it's kind of ironic given the name, but it doesn't contain a lot of power. There are so many good defensive cards like Fiendish Chain, like Tuner Scheme, like Battle Fader, like Dandelion, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Like, there's so many good defensive and solid cards that like these games would be very slow. So if we end up in a situation where we're both just constantly setting cards, Spear Soldier is actually going to be quite nice for those situations. Then easily the best one of the new Gravekeepers we have is Gravekeepers Descendant, 1500 attack as well, and an effect where you can tribute one other face-up Gravekeepers monster target one card your opponent controls and destroy that target. So it doesn't have to be a face-up card, it doesn't have to be a specific monster or spell trap, it just deals with all cards. Obviously, the cost is quite hefty, but as I said, like if these games end up being very slow, then something like Descendant can actually pop off. And then one of the two cards that are in the Absolute Powerforce Special Edition, Dandelion. So, as you can see, a banned card, and for a reason. Links obviously made this incredibly broken, but even without links, it's actually very good. So, meaningless stats, but what is good is the effect. If it's sent to the graveyard, it doesn't matter how or from where. You spell summon 2 fluff tokens that are level 1 plants with no stats in defense position, and they can be attributed for a tribute summon during the turn they are special summoned, but otherwise it's all fair game. So basically, you can set this. If it gets destroyed by battle, you get the tokens. You can use it to synchro, you get the tokens. Do anything, you get the tokens. Send it with Foolish Burial, which is why we're playing 2 Foolish Burial. This is here basically to send Dandelion, but we can also use it to pitch something like one of our Gravekeepers if we have one of our many ways of getting them out of the grave for some swarming. Then Fiendish Chain, which might be the most powerful card in the set. So Fiendish Chain continues Shep, activate this card by targeting one effect monster on the field, and you negate the effects of that face-up monster when it's on the field. Also, it cannot attack. And when it's destroyed, then you destroy Fiendish Chain. And this is basically what pushed me over the edge in playing Gravekeepers instead of X-Saber, because Hyunlei, while otherwise being a powerhouse, becomes a dud under Fiendish Chain. Then it's just a 23 beat stick or 22? Yeah, 2300 beat stick, which is way less scary. So Fiendish Chain, an incredibly flexible and good trap, negates effects as well as stops them from attacking with the monster. Basically makes the monster mostly useless. It can still be tributed for a tribute summon, use as synchro materials, stuff like that, but still a very powerful card. Another card that's pretty good here is Tuner Scheme. This is another reason why I actually figured like this could be a nice time to play Gravekeeper. So it's a continuous trap where you activate it when a synchro monster spells summon to your opponent's side of the field, and then you take control of the synchro monster and you banish it when it's destroyed. But obviously if they pop this card, then they get the synchro back, and as you can see, we don't have many tuners in our main deck. We're not really trying to synchro summon. We can do it if we get the opportunity, but it's not really what we're trying to do. So Tuner Scheme being in the set doesn't really matter to us. But if Jeexx ends up playing something like X-Saber, which is what I'm expecting, then Tuner's game is going to be very good for that. And finally, we have 2 Inverse Universe. This is actually a pretty cool card where you switch the attack and defense of all phase of effect monsters on the field permanently when you activate it. So this can actually make something like Gravekeepers Guard and Gravekeepers Spy an incredibly potent beat stick. But again, also we can just use this as a combo trick if Jeexx is swinging into one of our things, which maybe we like attack with something like a Guard or Spy. We can use this to flip their stats. It works pretty well in Gravekeepers, I feel like, and it's an interesting card. Then it's all cards that we've previously seen, so I don't explain them. I'll just say what we are playing with our legacy support. The reason why I quick draw synchro is here, because we have the package here, but we have 2 quick draw synchro and 1 more in the side deck, 2 Gravekeepers Chief, a 3rd one in the side as well, 3 Gravekeepers Spy, 3 Gravekeepers Guard, 1 Gravekeepers Assailant, and 3 Commandant to get the Necro Valley, which we are also playing at 3. We just always want to see Necro Valley, and then 3 Rite of Spirit to basically work as our trap version of Monster Reborn. As for the side deck, the stuff that we didn't cover yet, we have 2 Shieldwing. Shieldwing is basically just a very hard to get rid of an annoying card. This is mostly, we don't really need more defensive stuff. We already have a good defensive core with like Spy, Guard, and Dandelion, so we don't really need it. But this is actually going to be very nice if we want to actually go into our extra deck and do some synchro plays. So we might then side into it if we end up going with that package. And the rest of that synchro package that we have is 3 Oracle of the Sun, which is essentially just a Sidra. Defensive Sidra, 2000 defense, level 5. If you don't control monster, your opponent does, you can spell summon this from your hand. And when it's destroyed, ends up to grave, you can add one of its 2 tuners to your hand from your deck. And the tuners are Supe and Fire and Ascator, and these are basically just a level 1 and level 3 tuner. When Supe is sent from the field or graveyard by a card effect, you can spell summon an Oracle from your deck, double its attack, and return it to your hand during the end phase of the turn. And Ascator, when it's destroyed by a battle and sent to a grave, you can target a level 5 monster, monster in your grave, spell summon it, and its effects are negated, and you send it to graveyard during the end phase. Pretty irrelevant effects. These are basically just tuners that make stuff with Oracle. We have 2 synchros that need the specific tuners. We'll talk about those in a little bit. But at the end of our side deck, we have 2 My Body as a Shield just to protect our stuff from popping. This mostly here against X-Saber because Saber Slash is a card. And then a single Gravekeeper Steel if this is basically here, if Jeexx is also on Gravekeeper and the games get incredibly grindy, this is basically for us to recur our stuff and we can then keep going. As for the extra deck though, mostly stuff that we have already seen. So 3 RDA are here, then stuff that we've already seen. Actually, was it? I actually can't remember if Drill Warrior or Junk Archer was the new thing here, but I'll talk about them both since we haven't seen them yet. Night Warrior and Turbo Warrior we have seen already. But Drill Warrior, actually we had Drill Synchron last time, I think. Yeah, Drill Warrior was last time, so Junk Archer is now. Actually, I can just, I can check. Sorry, this is a very scuffed deck breakdown. Oh, it's the other way. Okay, yeah, never mind. I'm just dumb. Sorry, I forgot. Like, dual terminals and hidden arsenals are weird. But yeah, so what Drill Warrior does is a level 6, needs Drill Synchron, but it doesn't matter because Quick Draw can substitute for it, and we can make it with Quick Draw with Battle Fader or one of the Dandelion tokens. And once per turn during your main phase, you can have this card's attack, and if you do, it can attack your opponent directly this turn for 1200. And then once per turn, you can discard a card, and if you do, banish this card. And during your next standby phase, Vessel Summon it, banished by the effect, and then you can add 1 monster from your graveyard to your hand. So it's basically just, it just keeps on coming back. As long as you have discard fodder, you can get it back, and then you also get this stuff back from your grave as well. So it's just an incredibly hard card to deal with, and being able to attack for direct 1200 each turn makes this actually a really good synchro monster. And as for Junk Archer, it is a level 7. Hospital, you can target a monster your opponent controls, banish it, and the banished monster returns to opponent's field during the end phase of this turn. Probably don't need 2, but I just figured I'll just play 2 of each of the Synchro Warriors. Obviously, no Junk Warrior. We can't make it because most of the time, because Quick Draw Synchron is level 5 itself, and Road Warrior's effect does nothing, so that's why we're playing. This is basically if we can go into a 7 and Jeexx has 1 monster on his field and we can win with the swing, then this works because we can then just banish his monster and then we can go for game with Junk Archer and if we maybe have something else. And then the cards that we're talking about with the TuP2, Oracle, and Fire Escator line are Moondragon Quilla, which is level 6, that specifically needs TuP2, and Sundragon Inti, which specifically needs Fire and Escator, also at level 8. So, the Moondragon Quilla, when targeted for an attack, you gain life points equal to half of the attacking monster's HP. HP attack, what am I talking about? Sorry, my brain is full. I'm also doing this way later than I usually do, so apologies for that. And if it's destroyed on the field, you can target a Sundragon Inti and summon it from your graveyard. And Inti has the same thing where during the standby phase of the next turn after this card is destroyed, you can target a Moondragon Quilla and spell summon it. But the effect of Inti, also it's a 3k beast stick, is when destroyed by if destroyed by battle, and since okay, you destroy the monster, destroy this card, and burn your opponent for half the attack of the monster on the field. So probably not as good as Archfiend, but it's still like, I think these are cool, and if you get an opportunity to go into them, I feel like that would be neat, but I don't know if I'll side into the package, because these are, like, Escator and TuP2 could as well be vanillas. They're just tuners. Oracle of the Sun is decent. We also had access to Cyber Dragon, but I actually figured like if I were to be playing Cyber Dragon, I could as well just play Oracle of the Sun and include the Synchro package so we can Synchro summon as well. But yeah, sorry my thoughts were a little bit jumbled. Hopefully you enjoyed the deck breakdown regardless, and hopefully you enjoy the games as well. So I will see you all in the dueling zone next. What is up? I forgot my intro. Ladies and
lads.
Yes, that it is. I have multiple ones. I always forget which one I'm supposed to do when. But ladies and lads, we are back with another episode of the History Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning Journey. We are quickly closing in on 1 year of doing this. That is insane to think about. And I didn't even mention, we are playing Absolute Powerforce as well as Turbo Pack 2 today. So Jeexx, how do you feel about the episode today and us soon having done this for a year?
I'm absolutely stoked, if you will.
Oh yeah, I guess absolutely, yeah. I'm not doing. I guess I'm not like running on,
Full force.
the most gas today, and
Okay.
it would also seem that the Google coin flip hasn't given me a tail, so. That also
My guy,
ain't the greatest.
you could have literally gone, I'm not running on full force, or I'm not running on full cylinders, I'm not running on full power. You had so many options there, and you didn't go for anything.
I just read for some social linguistic bullshit that I frankly don't care about too much, and my brain is fried.
Hell yeah.
But luckily, we have some good ass Yu-Gi-Oh! To enjoy right now, so.
Hell yeah. Some good ass Tekken.
Good ass Tekken. That is for another time, and unfortunately not for now. But you know what? I actually like what you have done so much that I actually think I'm going to mirror your play here and pass.
How could you? How dare you? I'm just gonna.
Just my God-given right, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Just gonna like set one card and pass.
Interesting.
Yeah,
very.
that's a play and a half.
Very interesting. Since you said it there, I guess we'll keep mirroring you, so I'll just set another card and pass.
Wow. I would like to set another card and pass.
Oof. Damn, is good. Well, you know, that is quite fascinating. I think I will continue the trend.
Oh, you will? You say. Well, what if I said I would like to set one card and pass?
Oh, well, we are indeed playing the video game here, are we not?
It's the classic. You just set shit and you hope nothing explodes. To be fair, there's a good reason why we're doing this right now, and I'd say it goes to like towards the fact that set doesn't have that many explosive plays in it. It's fairly defensive. It's got a lot of good like defensive options such as Battle Fader, Dandelion, even arguably like Weeping Idol, which you can set. It's not the best idea to set it or anything like that, but there's a lot of cards that don't do anything when they're on the field on their own. So just setting them face down is probably your best bet.
Yep, that is fair. And on that note, I will set another monster and I will pass back to you.
Okay, I would like to normal summon.
Oh, our first face-up
Emmer's
card.
Blade.
Emmer's
That's a new
Blade.
X-Saber, ladies and gentlemen.
That is indeed
This is
a
a good
new
card.
X-Saber, and so we're playing some X-Sabers, huh?
Let's see how hard you're mirroring me, by the way.
Oh, mirror you. Interesting. Well, whatever you swung into happens to be a Gravekeeper spy. So, do you have a combat trick, or would you like to take your 700?
I'm thinking.
Before I resolve my spy.
That's really bad.
But yeah, I was thinking of also playing X-Saber, but I figured I played them a couple times already, and I will probably play them again. I figured, you know what? As much as I like X-Saber and Blackwing, I could just do something else this time. All right. So I will
summon.
Special summon a Gravekeeper monster with 1500 or less attack from my deck.
Can't wait.
And I think what I will pick is choices.
Play your last pathetic card, Yugi.
I don't know what your other set are, but I think we will get a Gravekeeper's Descendant in attack position.
Don't like this card. I don't like that card at all.
How funny is that Ember's Blade has to be destroyed by battle to get its effect.
Well, what if I just go end phase?
Yep.
And then
anything in my draw?
No.
Okay. Well. Now this is interesting, is it not? That's the first thing you said. It was the middle one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's start by flip summoning a Gravekeeper's card. Is that okay?
Yep. Go for it.
And I would like to bounce this monster back to your hand.
That monster back to my hand. Okay.
Yep. Then I think we'll go ahead and use the effect of Descendant, and we'll tribute off the guard, and we will pop Ember's Blade.
I will respond to the pop with Fiendish Chain, targeting Descendant to negate its effect.
Yeah, that is fine. Then, I mean, you know, why not? Let's just flip summon another Gravekeeper's Spy. Is that okay?
That is okay.
Then I would like to go to my deck, and I will special summon a Gravekeeper's Descendant. Anything on the summon?
Nope.
Then, I mean, you might have another Fiendish Chain, but I think we'll still go for it. We will use the effect of our Descendant to tribute this Descendant to attempt to pop Ember's Blade. Alrighty. Then. I still have a normaled, but I don't know how crazy I want to go here. Hmm. All right, I think we'll try something. I will normal summon a Gravekeepers Priestess. Also, how does finish say where? Oh, when it's destroyed, since it was tributed, it doesn't go away. Cause
Yeah.
oh, okay, gotcha.
It does not leave the field ever
Yeah,
at
okay.
this point.
But yeah, anything on a priestess?
No, I have literally no responses.
Now the question is,
the only response that I have
sure.
is a very powerful one.
Fair enough. Battle Fader was only on direct attack. I mean, I do want to body check these anyway to see what they are, so we'll go Battle Phase.
It doesn't matter.
And then we'll swing into, I think, it just, I don't think it matters. We'll swing Descendant 1700 into this thing.
Yep.
Weeping Idol. And then we'll check this with, it doesn't matter, 1400?
Yep.
And attempt to swing in for 14 first. Battle Fighter, yeah. So battle phase is ended. We go main 2, and I don't think there's anything else to be done, so I will just pass the turn. All right, and that is game 1.
I drew 3 copies of Battle Fader, a Dandelion, and the fucking Weeping Idol.
Awesome.
Oh, and Ember's Blade, of course. Yeah.
But hey, no 3 fault trolls, so it was just a different break. Wow, awesome.
It was just, there's nothing I can do with this hand.
Yeah.
Instead of, oh, this hand can be explosive.
And like, there was no power to beat over the big bodies of Gravekeepers. So yeah. Exactly. Yeah, let's go side for game 2. And we are done. Happy I ended up going with the non-X-Saber one, so we don't have another mirror.
Number, if you will.
On our hands.
I would like to kill myself.
Well, please don't do that. Oh, this hand is kind of insane, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, that's pretty gross. But still, I think what we will do is we'll just humbly set some cards, activate a Necro Valley, and I wonder what is smarter. I do think we'll just set a monster to and pass.
Standby main. Special summon. Cyber Dragon.
Nothing on that.
Normal summon. X-Saber Garzum.
Yep.
Then attack into this.
Yep.
Using Cyber Dragon.
It is a Gravekeepers Guard, so what you take 300 and I will bounce.
No, I don't. Wait, what? Really? What the fuck?
Necro Valley.
That's broken. Okay. What the fuck? This thing is gonna be a problem. I forgot about Necro Valley increasing defense.
Yeah,
I thought it was only attack.
It's funny that like for the time it's still like one of the better effects of Necro Valley, because 500 is a lot.
Yeah.
I think I will bounce these Sidra?
The Cyber Dragon is technically -2 because I lose a level 5 on board, and I also have to tribute someone if I want.
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking. Because like you still have stuff. I do think it makes more sense to bounce the Sidra. So yeah, I will bounce the Sidra. And yeah, you take it was 300, right? Yeah, 21. Yeah. Math is hard. Okay. Yeah, Necro Valley is a pretty good card. Alrighty. Oh yeah, Garson is a bad card. It has to be destroyed by a card effect. Huh. I mean, do I have a reason to not do this? I kind of don't. Sure. We will tribute summon a Gravekeepers Chief, tributing our guard. Then we'll use Chief to get back the guard.
Yeah.
And then we'll go battle phase, and you have 5 cards in hand. One of those is gonna be battle faders, so we'll go Chief first for 24, so 1,000, and then we'll attempt to swing for 50.
800, because it gains 200 for itself. It's a 1.68 beat stick. It's not 1.4k.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh yeah, this card
gains 200 off of itself.
Each. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that ends the battle phase. Then we'll go main 2, and we'll just set another card and pass. I've also realized how bricky early X-Sabers are.
I don't think the issue itself is the X-Sabers. I think the issue is the fact that we just don't have support cards around them at all. Like, the actual X-Sabers that we currently have are all fairly good, as long as you play them in the proper ratios. But the issue is that we don't have access to the cards that filter out the good cards.
Yeah,
we don't have access to Rhoda, for example. I would think he doesn't exist right now.
Dark Soul was the card that like searches in end phase when it's summoned, right? And the Bogart Knight was the one that summons something.
Bogart Knight is the good one.
Yeah. I think both of those are like very good.
That's next set, by the way, I think.
Oh, it is. Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah, Shining Darkness.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll just go straight into battle phase, and we will go. Does it matter? I guess I'd rather swing this thing first, so we'll swing Chief into the set.
No.
All right, and then we'll kill off the battle fighter.
Yeah.
And then main 2. Yeah, we'll just set another back row and actually, yeah.
Okay.
I don't like cards being in attack, but it's whatever. I like you looking your extra deck.
Hey.
All right. Draw, and in my standby, you take 1,000 for Pashul. Pashul is annoying, to say the least. I mean, we'll just go straight into battle phase, and we'll once again swing Chief into the set.
Yeah.
Then we'll just poke one of the tokens.
Yeah.
Then we'll go main 2, and I'll set a monster and I will pass.
Not worth playing.
Oh. Well, that is that. What was your back row?
It was a Fiendish chain.
Ah, gotcha.
But it doesn't do anything.
Yeah. What do you have in your hand?
I had a Cyber Dragon and Guard Strike. The one Guard Strike that I have in my deck, and one of the two Cyber Dragons that I had in my deck.
You love to see it. My back row is also kind of insane. I had a Rite of Spirit, I had a Tuner Scheme, I had my Body as a Shield, and a Universe. And I just set a Spy, so next turn I could have gotten rid of Pashul anyway. That's unfortunate. Do you want to play another game?
Nah, I don't want to play.
Fair. That's fair.
I honestly feel like this would have worked out. Actually, does this work? I mean, I guess kinda. You know what? I have another idea. Yeah, let's play another game.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you just I mean, it's whatever. I'll just play play the same thing.
I'm playing a different thing, but
Sure.
this at least gets to show off something that I've been intending to show off basically every single time it shows up, but it just has not been worthwhile.
Oh,
And they
interesting.
got a decent card in this set finally, which makes them arguably decent.
Now
I want to see how that works.
Actually, you know what? To make things easier, I'll just which one is it? Yeah, it's this one. I'll just do this. I have the room set up as a 2 out of 3. So just join here and we'll start and I'll immediately just do this. So I can then change the couple things that I changed. It's easier and faster for me to change these this way. I don't think I care about other stuff. Yeah, I'll just do this, and we'll play the third game since those two were so fast.
A card real quick because I had something here that I didn't want to keep in.
Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot what it was.
Also, I guess I can. So we're not just playing the one. I'll just do another coin flip for this one game.
Oh yeah, this is entirely unfinished. I just realized. Yeah,
tails suck.
Doesn't matter.
So I toss tails, so you can go first for this. I'm interested because I can't really remember because I remember Gravekeeper and X-Saber were the two things in the set, the two biggest things I feel. So I'm trying to think and use it ever since it's been out. So I'm now trying to think what the hell could it be?
I would like to activate Core Transport Unit.
Oh, you're playing Quakimeru. Interesting.
I would like to discard a card from my hand to add a Iron Core of Quakimeru to my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would like to set 2 cards and pass.
Alrighty. Well, my hand is dog shit, so that's good. I'll just set
Perfect.
and set, and we'll go with that.
Okay. Then I would like to go into main phase. I would like to normal summon.
Mm-hmm.
Quakimeru Ice.
Yep.
And I would like to go into combat and attack into this thing.
It is a Dandelion, so we'll get 2 fluff tokens.
Okay. And then I would like to go into end phase. And I don't like this card, so I'll just let it die.
Fair. Alright. Draw standby main. Is it worth it? I don't remember anything about the stuff that the Quakimerus have, so I don't know how big things are. You know what they say? Curiosity killed the cat. Let's normal summon an Gravekeepers Assailant.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yes, that's okay.
And I would like to see what this thing is.
It is Quakimeru Speeder with 2.2 thousand defense.
2200, huh? That's big.
Yes.
Remotion that more. If you draw. Cool. So I'm taking 700. And then we'll go main 2, and I will just pass.
Go standby, main. I would like to set a card, and then I would like to go to end phase. And in end phase, I will reveal from my hand a Cyber Dragon.
Yep.
To keep it on the field.
Yep.
And then I'll pass.
Alright.
Oh wait, this is actually the wrong play.
Main.
Kind of stupid. Wondering about the ruling for this specifically.
Well,
you add it, right? When you draw Iron Core Cloaky as your normal draw, if you wish to activate the effect of Cloaky Speeder, then you must activate it when the Iron Core Cloaky is drawn. You cannot activate the effect at a later time. I'm wondering if the adding part does not replace your draw.
If you draw Iron Core during your draw phase.
Add this card to your hand instead of drawing. I don't think.
Oh
works.
yeah, wait. Yeah. If it says instead, like that's a replacement effect, right?
Yeah, it's a replacement effect, and that's why I'm wondering. Like, does this count as a draw?
I think so.
Because I didn't research it, but I don't. Nothing is mentioning it.
I mean, so you still have your draw step if you have something in like your draw step, but like if you draw during, you can prevail it. But if you add it to it's actually because I just have the magic brain where instead just mean like it replaces that thing. So
yeah, it basically would become the draw itself. So the adding part would still be that you draw it from your graveyard, basically. That's interesting, but I don't think it works the way that I'm thinking right now, and that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. Anywho, this thing is too big, so I would like to normal summon Descendants. Is that okay?
That is okay. Yeah. Oh fuck! I just realized something.
Oh, sorry.
So what if instead of revealing Cyber Dragon, I simply discard this card?
Oh.
Because that's the other. Yeah, that's
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't impact anything, so that's perfectly fine. And
really.
like the hand knowledge doesn't matter because I knew both the cards in your hand. Well, let's say if you have the finishing, I would like to tribute Assailant for the effect of Descendant and attempt to pop Speeder.
Activate only if you control a face-up Quakimeru monster and have an Iron Core Quakimeru in your graveyard. Negate the activation of an effect monster's effect and destroy them.
Oh, that's why I wanted to do this. Interesting.
Yeah, I was like, wait, this thing doesn't require it to be in hand. I thought it would require me to send it to grave from hand.
Interesting that you would do this after you see me, you know. So
no, like I was. Oh wait, this is different. Yeah.
All right. I mean, it's perfectly fine. Minty, I think I will actually just pass.
Yeah. This is actually a problem. Let me think for a moment. I need to turn off auto draw.
Yeah.
Thinking I don't need to add it to my hand because reasons that you know now. Because I have a speeder. Speeder works off a Cyber Dragon. Basically, it just sits there, and I don't ever have to deal with anything.
Yeah, you can
so
just
I can
keep
just
on showing.
Draw. Yeah.
Cider.
This works out.
Assuming you don't want to get rid of my tokens, you know, they're being quite menacing, and Gravekeepers are known to be a very synchro summon heavy deck, so they're quite threatening.
They are very, very scary, I must say. Yes.
I also noticed that in like immediately you discarded Tuner Scheme, which is interesting because.
Yes. I wonder. I would like to activate the core transport unit to discard a Quakimeru monster from my hand to add to my hand an Iron Core of Quakimeru.
Yep.
And then I would like to end my turn by revealing Cyber Dragon from my hand.
Yep. Then we'll go draw standby main. And I do wonder what is the other card that you have. I mean, this thing is very annoying.
It's huge. Like, I'm honestly impressed by how big it is right now. Holy hell.
So I think what we will do is we'll fire off Inverse Universe here.
Okay.
Making it a 1200 defense, 2200 beastic. Now, if this fails, obviously you have a huge beastic afterwards. But yeah, I would like to tribute summon using one of my tokens, since it's no longer the turn they were summoned, and get a Gravekeepers Chief. Is that okay?
Yes, that is okay.
And then I would like to I guess this is more of an insurance. I'd like to get Gravekeepers Descendant.
Yep. You know, it's kind of funny that they decided to make this Exile Force proof.
Mm-hmm.
As in, you can't sack Descendant to itself, which
feels
kind of weird.
They probably learned their lesson with Exile Force, given like how long it was very good.
Yeah, alongside Cannon Soldier and whatnot being able to sack itself for a little bit more damage and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's much more healthy for stuff to tribute something for an effect for them to tribute other things. Especially when you think of a monster, it's kind of weird, especially for something like a Cannon Soldier, like it's using itself as cannon fodder at that point, which is...
Dude, the weirdest one is Catapult Turtle. Because you can sack Catapult Turtle to itself.
Yeah, because it's so big.
Yeah.
And since that is now 1200 defense, I would like to attempt to swing Descendant into it.
That is acceptable, yes.
And then I would like to swing for 1900. Do you have the Battle Vader?
No.
Or, I mean, I don't even know if you'd want to use, because that's not a lot of damage. Then maybe I will just set a back row and I will pass.
In your end phase, because I don't like that card, I would like to activate Reckoned Power to reveal Iron Core Quokimero to pop your face downs.
Yeah. It is a Rite of Spirit.
Okay. Wait, what? Oh, fuck. I accidentally clicked enter. Go, wait, what didn't I draw? Sorry.
I can just put off auto draw. And,
I'll draw my card and...
Side draw?
Anything from here. Can you give me a second?
Mm-hmm.
This is a little weird. So colony for you. I mean, that works.
I'm very interested if there's a world where you don't special side draw here.
You do have to summon it. Even if I wouldn't want to, I do have to summon it.
Yep.
Then Iron Core Specimen Lab. And because I want to thin my deck out a little bit more, I will discard Iron Core Quokimero to search for an Iron Core Quokimero. I've now thinned my deck out of each Iron Core Quokimero that is in there, if I can find it.
Mm-hmm.
I should have 3.
It's very interesting if you're playing a Quokimero deck without,
I guess I don't have 3.
That is a choice that you can make.
That is kind of odd by me, yes.
Interesting.
I think the idea is that I can use Core Transport Unit to consistently, then I would like to go into combat.
Mm-hmm.
And in combat, I would like to attack into the... So...
This is interesting.
The odds of you having Necro Valley are lower than the odds of you having a different Gravekeeper card. Therefore, statistically, I should attack into Gravekeeper's Descendant, because you can have more Gravekeepers in your deck than you can have Necro Valleys. Because the only way Gravekeeper's Chief can, on its own, deal with Cyber Dragon is by you having Necro Valley. Therefore, the actual
having Priestess when it can crash, but
yeah, but that's also like it has to be one of these 2 specific cards.
Yeah.
But Descendant, it has to be a Gravekeeper in general.
Yeah.
So attacking into Descendant is the way to go. So I would like to attack into Descendant.
Yeah. You're still in your... Oh, wait, we're in...
I can't move.
Oh, wait, we're in my turn?
Yeah, because I simply hit end turn.
Okay, yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
I mean, I could have passed back and that would do them, but yeah, that works. Descendant to the grave, and I take 600.
600? Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad. And then I I'll just pass. I'll
Okay.
reveal Coroco Mirror from my hand, and it's your turn.
Yeah. I will just draw manually, so I don't have to do one extra turn. And I guess I'll just draw one of the 3 Necro Valleys, or one of the 3 ways of getting into Necro Valley here. I'm just, it's... We've been through this. It's been how many episodes in a row now?
It's just so fair,
It's
so talented.
I mean, at this point it can't be luck anymore, right?
Yeah.
By the way, my hand was, what was it? I had a spy, another Gravekeepers chief, so I could have just
That
tributed
would
the
have been.
chief for the descendant. Obviously, then I have to pop my other chief, and then I had Gravekeeper's spy, and then I had Dandelion.
But you can just sack the chief for chief, right?
Yeah,
So.
that's exactly like what I meant. Like I can just do sack chief for the other chief. I get back descendant, sack the other chief for descendant's effect, and then you're on the row.
Unfortunate.
I love being talented at this video game, man.
I mean, it didn't particularly matter because you had other outs too. So.
I mean, yeah, like.
But the fact that you drew the Necro Valley kind of just makes
It's
that
just
worse.
funnier. It's just funnier.
You
And
know?
obviously, like that matchup, like with Necro Valley, obviously preventing you from like getting back the Quakimeras from your grave is obviously not great.
Yeah, exactly.
But
It's a little unfortunate, especially because Kogimeros themselves don't exactly have ways of dealing with Necro Valley.
yeah,
So the only way that they have, only spell trap removal that they really have is Reckon Power, which is
Yeah.
only for face downs, which means that it's also, you can't really use it in response, like anything on the field that's like face up, for example, Fiendish Chains and stuff,
yeah,
which
it's
kind of just makes their entire spell trap removal game non-existent. But it's
yeah,
also kind of the same thing with X-Sabers.
yeah. Hyunlei basically was added there just to give their a way of dealing with back row, which
Yeah.
she's a good
But
card, but like as we already established, like for now, X-Saber still like they're not great because they're not very consistent.
I'd say the big issue with even Hinley is that Fiendish Chain exists.
Yeah,
Fiendish Chain can just immediately block you up.
finishing does a
Considering
lot.
that, yeah, Fiendish Chain is really good from now until like 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can play it in every deck that it like you can possibly fit it in, and it works really well.
Yeah, I mean, Monster Negation is just good, and the fact that it also prevents attacking is it's just a complete package. One of
It's
the
absolutely nuts.
I had like multiple reasons why I was like did consider playing X-Saber, sorry, not X-Saber, but Gravekeepers here, because like in vacuum, I think like X-Saber is probably the best thing to play here, because like Hyunlei is, I mean, if Hyunlei, like, I have a lot of like, obviously Necro Valley being a core card, I have a lot of background. I want to keep like Hyunlei being able to pop stuff, but Fiendish Chain gives me a way of actually dealing with Hyunlei in a way that I can keep my background, I can keep my Necro Valley, and then my stuff, I don't really care about Fiendish Chain. And the other thing was, bro, Tuner Scheme is so annoying. And obviously, well, I was running 2 quick draws in my main deck. I had a third one in the side, and I then had a small like Oracle of the Sun package with 3 Oracle of the Sun. Because, by the way, I think this is like, I mean, it's basically just a Cyber Dragon. It's a special summonable. If your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon it from your hand. Like it's a level 5. It's essentially just a Sidra. I had that with 2 Supe and 2 Fire Ant Ascator. And then
the Supe line in its entirety is just Omega scuffed because everything around it, like everything other than Oracle itself and well, Supe to a degree, are kind of ass.
yeah,
Because Fire Ant Ascator, for example, if it said if this card is sent to the graveyard instead of if this card was destroyed, it would actually be kind of a good card because then you could easily use it alongside Oracle to actually keep on looping cards, and you would have a fairly good presence overall.
if both of these said like they didn't have to be like sent to the grave by a specific effect and it was just sent to a grave, they would actually very much be great. And like the Sundragon Intia and Moondragon Quella, they're not great. They're cool cards though. And I was just like, I mean, realistically, I was probably not gonna go into my extra deck much, but I wanted to have something like, okay, I can have these. So like, on top of those, I just had RDAs, and then I just had basically all the Synchro Warriors, except for Road Warrior and Junk Warrior. I had 2 Junk Archer, 2 Nitro Warrior, 2 Drill Warrior, and 2 Turbo Warrior, just like to have varying things to go into with Quick Draw, if I felt like it. But just, I don't know. Gravekeepers are big, man.
Yeah, they are huge.
Stuff like Spy just makes it very consistent. And like you said at the start, like the power level of the set was definitely lower, so that also gave the ground for stuff like Gravekeepers to really shine.
Yeah, it's generally slower and lower. Like,
Yeah.
everything about the set is basically worse than the previous. It's even Stardust Overdrive.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder to establish an early board in a way.
Yeah, and even if you do, like, as we saw, like, both of us just building the board, like, it doesn't really achieve anything, because, like, most of these standalone good cards are good defensive cards. Like, you have Battle Fader, desktops, got a battle phase completely. You have Phoenix Chain to completely negate basically the existence of a monster. Tuner Scheme is there as a deterrent for going into synchros. You have stuff like Shield Wing and Dandelion that just, like, basically you have to swing into a million things to get through everything. It's just like there are so many defensive things in the set, and even like stuff like my body has a shield from the turbo pack to protect stuff if you're trying to pop things. It's just a lot of defensive stuff and not really a lot of like punching power. And Gravekeeper is just like very consistent, and they're just big, so it's easy to like just accrue like constant value a bit by bit by bit, and then eventually you just lose. Because I mean, that's the other thing too. Like a lot of things, the other things in Gravekeeper, like they really in the set like want to do with their graveyard. Like X-Saber, you have like stuff like Fall Troll and Ruggy Gura that wants to recur stuff from your graveyard. Kokimeirus want to recur the Iron Core from their grave. So
yeah, like I feel like there is no deck in this closed format that doesn't use the graveyard. So
probably not.
I think, like, when you think about it, we have the Oracle of the Sun set, or the Oracle of the Sun Supe line. That's also using the graveyard, because a lot of the cards in there like recur cards in the graveyard. X-Sabers, I would argue that you can play X-Sabers without having to move cards in, like, out from the graveyard, but most of their good recursion is still like graveyard. Like, of course, it's graveyard based, it's recursion.
Yeah.
But stuff like Voltro, like you said, Full Helm Knight, all that, even Rugigore, yeah. All of these cards are
Any emergency call,
core.
I didn't even mention
Oh
that.
yeah, Golems, of course, yeah, Golems.
Yeah.
It's just if Necro Valley hits the board, you don't have any outs, because MST is not in the format. Dust Tornado is not in the format.
Yeah, so basically at that point you're praying like, okay, hopefully I can go into
Doesn't have
Hyunlei and not get Fiendish Chained or Tuner Schemed.
I mean, Tuner Scheme is significantly worse into Hyunlei than Fiendish Chain, because
you can just pop it.
You can just pop it.
Because three targets is a lot. Chances
3 targets
like,
is you have
you're not hitting
all
the
of your
Tuner Scheme is kind of crazy.
Yeah, because odds are you won't have set like more than 2 cards unless you're a psychopath.
Yeah, I mean, I did have, I think, 4 in the first way. I had Fiendish Chain, Tuner Scheme, Rite of Spirit, and a I don't remember what the last card was, but something. But it's not gonna happen often. So
yeah. Oh man.
Now I'm just interested. Like, how long will this streak continue? I think that's every episode we played this year, I think, where there's been literally a moment where like I have one out, I just call it, and then I just draw it.
Yeah,
it's
kind of impressive.
How long this streak will last?
Well, it's okay. Starting from Shining Darkness, you won't have that anymore. And hopefully, when we get to the 50th episode, we'll finally get to play real.
Oh, we're gonna be playing some real decks. I don't know if we ever talked about that yet, but we can a little bit of a teaser, which is like 52 is obvious how many weeks there are in the year, but we figured since I think we missed a week, I'm pretty sure, but we just figured like it's also easier to keep track of, like depending on how long we want to keep this going. So we'll just do basically an anniversary style thing every 50 episodes, and we're gonna be playing multiple decks. And all I'll say now is we'll probably the other details next week, but we'll play multiple decks, and we'll be playing some stuff that we've already seen and sort of reminiscing the past 50 episodes. So it'll be very, very fun. It'll be very interesting. It'll be different. I assure you, like the decks will be different than what we're used to seeing from the usual format.
I would hope so, yeah.
Or maybe I just end up throwing 3 Gale, 3 Bora, 1 Sirocco, 2 Blizzard, 3 Black Whirlwind, whatever the rest, the 3 Shura into the deck.
Into every single side deck?
And
so you can always just...
True.
Fuck that. Don't you fucking dare.
Probably not, but yeah. That'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, we'll talk more about that next week when we engage in Mortal Kombat in, like you said, the Shining Darkness, which I think is gonna be 49, right? It is. I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Should be.
So no triple backs with that, just the Shining Darkness next week. So hopefully we'll see y'all there. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode today, and have a good one, y'all. Peace.